Air conditioner is not on. Should I put it on? You hear? The AC is not on. All right, a very good evening to all of my friends and relatives and well-wishers and those who are expecting us to be on today. We are on and we are live, and it's another Thursday, sorry. And you know what happens on Thursdays, right? Kevin shows up and spoils everything. I first want to really congratulate the students who would have sat the assessment exam. And I want to say to you that it doesn't matter really what position you got, as long as you passed it and you did it with real knowledge, knowing that you, in other words, you knew the material. Because many persons who succeeded were not always on top. You know, they did well and they did enough to get along, and then they did what they had to do when the time came for them to succeed in whatever areas they were to be successful at. For those of you who would have really done extremely well, like topped the nation and maybe even the Caribbean, I don't know, I want to congratulate you too. And I know that that you would have studied hard, made a lot of sacrifices, and the rewards came. You know, the teachers, the persons who assisted with the classes in the evening, the late hours you stayed up, the television and the computer that you denied yourself of, and you know, the sometimes fatigue and sleepless nights that you would have endured to achieve this milestone. But I want to caution you that is just the beginning. you know, you really are now launching into the deep, if I can say that. You really are now getting into the real deal. You know, you made it happen now, and this is your launching pad to set you into the right arena, so that you can continue to succeed and do well in finding your life's purpose. Because there is a reason why you would have done well, not just because you are to do well, but because you have an objective in mind. There is something that is proposed for you that already, and you know, you're just finding your way there. So congratulations once again, and I want to also congratulate the teachers, because you couldn't do it without your teachers. You know, the teachers were very instrumental in making it happen, and you cannot forget the teachers. You know, I know a few people who would have done well on this occasion. One being young Miss Duncan. You know, that's my nurse's daughter, and my friends, the nurses and my friend's daughter, Dwayne and Fiona's daughter. Congratulations to you, and I knew that you would have done well. You know, when she finished the exam, as a matter of fact, when she was studying, you know, we used to talk from time to time, and she's pretty serious. You look at her, she doesn't really smile much, but you know, she really studied her work, and she came 4th place in the country, right? So congratulations to you, and I just knew you would do well. And then my operator's daughter here, you know, she didn't, you know, she didn't probably top the country, but she did well enough with good grades And she's on her way also, my young doctor, you know, who normally sits with me. I don't know if she wants to come today and smile up at everybody because she did well. She can come if she wants to. But I want to congratulate her too because her mom made sacrifices and she did too. Studied hard and just missed a couple of questions, you know. But it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that you did great, you did well, and congratulations to you too. All right? Now, for the parents whose children didn't do well enough or who may have failed, you know, I mean, it's not a good thing. Failing is never good. But it shows you that you need to get more involved with your children. And the children who didn't pass the exam, you need to, you know, look at yourselves in the mirror and blame it on you because it was your opportunity to make a difference and to make your parents proud, even though they may not have been, you know, so forthwith or forthright with you. Maybe you're not to be part of the group that is to go that way, but maybe your life's purpose is to go another way. So not because you may not have made it here, it means that that's the end of the world for you. You know, this may not have been your cup of tea, as they say, and it just means that you gotta, you know, work hard to find your reason for being here and focus on that. You know, so don't feel despondent. It's not good to fail, but maybe this is not what you should be doing. All right? So keep working hard.
I was made to understand that the child that topped the school is 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah. 5 years ago, she went to Marian Academy to be admitted, and she was refused admission because she was too young.
Wow. Wow. I got some information here that was passed on to me. I don't know how authentic it is, but I was told that the person who topped the country is 11 years old, and she went, she was taken to Marian Academy to enroll, and they refused her because she was too young. And I guess they're regretting it now because, you know, that was an opportunity that they missed to have the top student come out of their school. You know, so
Or maybe it was destined that way.
it was to be that way. The way it ended up is exactly how it's supposed to be. Maybe if she had gone there, she probably would not have done as well. You know, so everything is, you know, it's funny. Everything is already streamlined. It's already cut out. You know, sometimes we're disappointed when things happen, but there's a reason why things happen, and most times it's a good reason. So it's good that you weren't accepted there because you probably would not have done as well as you did where you are now. So once again,
And the school that she attended is 8 years old.
the school that she attended is only 8 years old.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
What school is that?
West Prep.
West Prep?
Yeah, Westfield Prep.
Westfield Primary.
Yeah,
Yes, it's an 8-year-old school.
8 years old.
It means
4
that
years, 4 years ago, one of the students in that school is fourth.
4 years ago the student came fourth.
Yeah.
Wow.
and 4
In the
years
country.
Yeah, 4 years after
The student came first.
first.
It means that something is happening there.
Yeah,
Something is going on at that school that people need to find out.
which is located on Parade Street,
You know, it's in Parade Street, Kingston.
Kingston.
I think you need to find out what's happening in that school. Because if 4 years ago the student came fourth there in the country, and now 4 years later the student is number one in the country, and the school is only 8 years old, that means that there's something good going on there, and you want to get your kid in that school.
Congratulations.
All right.
Because-
So congratulations to that young school. That's a baby school, really, for working so hard. The teachers. I mean, it's got to be the teachers
Yeah.
and the commitment. You know, the staff and everybody else. You know, I mean, Ghana should feel proud to know that. I wonder how we did in the Caribbean. You know, how would they rank? I understand the student who came first got all the
Perfect.
perfect score,
Yeah.
and that goes for the Caribbean too, right? Not the same score.
I am not sure, but it's the first time in Guyana.
The student had perfect score.
Yeah. first
Wow.
time.
Wow. And that's the same student that went to the 8-year-old school.
8 years old school. school. So there's something going on in that
Something
school.
good going on there that you
And
need to
that's
get
good.
into, because if West Prep Primary has gotten, Westfield Primary has gotten, in 8 years, the top student in the country, I would be down there
Not
wondering what's
just
going
the
on.
top student, but the top student with the perfect
You know,
score.
with a perfect score, the top student with a perfect score. You can't get any better than that. You can't get better than that. I mean, it's I'm not tooting my horn here, right? But when I was doing my exam at to enter trade school,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this was at GTI
GTI.
several years ago. I wouldn't tell you how long ago it is, but when I took that exam, I got a perfect score.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. I got a perfect score. Then I took the exam for the military in the U.S. And when I took the exam there, I got a score that allowed me to enter any branch of the service. I don't know if it was a top score, but they didn't tell me what the score was. But it says you've qualified, you've passed the exam at a level that enables you to enter any branch of the service.
Wow.
So I could have gone anywhere,
Yeah.
you know. And the bottom line is this: it doesn't matter what color skin you have, what kind of hair, you know, or even what kind of food you eat, because I wasn't eating so well either then, you know. It is your level of commitment and your purpose,
Yeah.
you know. How you commit to the purpose that you're going after. And I see this, my son, my last son, Joel, topped the region at grade 6. You know, when he took it, he topped the region
Region.
in Region 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other son, Joseph Jr., he topped Harrison College in Barbados.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, there must be something must be happening
Yeah.
in the hemisphere. I'm not going to toot my horn for that, but something must be happening in the hemisphere, and maybe
Probably.
it's just a matter of understanding your purpose in life and focusing there, and just doing everything you can. Be the best at whatever you're going to do. You know, don't be the best criminal. Don't be a criminal at all. But try to find your purpose in life, and if you're going to do anything with criminal, be a criminologist. Do criminology so that you can help to solve crime, you know, and help us to rid our country of all this crime that we have. You know, but whatever you're going to be, young and old, be the best. You know, there's nothing wrong with striving to be the best at whatever you do. And I applaud all of those persons involved in making this occasion a very good one. And I hope that you continue on that thrust towards your CXC now, and then your bachelor's, your master's, your doctorate, and all those other things. You know, so I will leave that at that for now, and don't celebrate too much, because your journey has just begun. That's how you look at it, and it is now up to you to curve that path and stay on it to excel even further. All right. Now, I did yesterday on my program on the other station. We talked about cholesterol, and I skipped cancer because it's a longer one. And I did the cholesterol thing because we have a lot of persons who are consuming foods that are clogging their arteries and creating problems that's causing them to see their graves maybe at an earlier time than they should. They're eating foods that are laden with fats. You're using fried foods in every way. You're barbecuing stuff and killing yourself with the smoke. And you're using fried foods that are laden with oils that don't melt easily in your arteries. I want you to remember one thing. Your blood temperature normally operates at 98.6. And if you're using anything that is of a higher temperature than that, that is fat, then unless you are doing some serious workouts and getting in a sauna where you can increase your temperature in your blood to burn that fat, then you're going to clog your arteries. Okay? We need to look at the kind of shortening that goes into breads and pastries to make sure that it melts with normal room temperature. You know, if it doesn't, then when we consume those pastries and breads, then we clog in our arteries because as we absorb that into our bloodstream, it just lines there. It just lives, it stays there and blocks up the arteries. And I want you to imagine your arteries, some of it like a needle. You know, some of the arteries are as small as a needle that the blood has to go through. And if you have fat that lines those needle arteries, you can't get erections, your brain can't function properly, you're going to lose your memory, you know, you're going to have serious problems with your heart, and you're going to end up in the grave probably earlier than you really should be. Right? So look at your diet to make sure you're not frying everything, that you're not using fats that are higher in its ability to dissolve than your blood temperature, and ensure that you're exercising at some point to increase your blood temperature so that you can burn those fats and get rid of the coagulation that interferes with everything that destroys your body. All right? Cholesterol is not only about the meats that you eat or the flesh foods that you consume, but it's about the other factors. Like how much do you exercise? What kind of pastries that you use? What kind of butter or margarine do you use? And a good way to know if the margarine or butter is going to be able to dissolve in your arteries is to leave it on your countertop, maybe for a day. And if it dissolves and melts, then you use it in your breads and your cakes and your pastries. If it doesn't dissolve, throw it out. Because if it's not going to dissolve at room temperature, for sure, when it gets into your arteries, it's not going to dissolve. Okay? So that's all I'm going to really say about cholesterol today, because we're running out of time, and I see we only have about 23 minutes left, and I normally take calls at the half an hour mark. You know, so some of the things that you can do to help to burn the plaque out of your arteries, number one is exercise. You know, well, first of all, number one is to prevent it. Prevent yourself from becoming a victim of those fatty foods and high fat laden cholesterol lipid foods by choosing smartly. You know, choose what you're going to be using to finish your products, like your pastries, your cakes, you know, whatever you make, your gravies and so on, right? Number one. Number two, exercise, okay? Get out there and walk. Walk briskly. Start slowly, walk briskly so that you can increase your blood temperature so that you can burn as you're supposed to burn. Number two. Number three, if you can get a hold of a sauna, a far infrared sauna, it's a good piece of equipment to be able to get in, and you sit there, you meditate, and you burn the fats at the same time, and you open your arteries, open your pores, so you can have better blood flow. All right? Because you need to remember one thing. That heart that you have is designed to function in a body with a certain size, and with arteries that are clear. When you clog it, you're putting a lot of strain on that heart, and that same heart has to help to get blood wherever you need it. And then you have numbness in your feet, your toes are numb, your fingers are numb, you know, your face is numb, and you're wondering what's going on. Well, blood is just not getting there. Blood and oxygen is not reaching there because of the damage that you did to your own arteries and blood vessels. Okay? So be careful, be choosy, and get out there and exercise, all right? Eat more raw garlic. Put more raw garlic in your diet, okay? Fry less. Use more steamed, broiled, and baked produce or products. Get some vitamin C in your diet. At least I say 1,000 milligrams every day, because it makes a difference in what happens to your body's ability to function properly. All right? So exercise, get on a diet that is less oils and fats, and choose smartly what you're going to use to finish your products. Good evening. Oops. Sorry. I was trying to just get in a quick call there, but let's see again. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Doc.
Where are you calling from there?
Pardon me?
What area are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tilling Onsgrove, Doc.
Anns Grove, nice.
Doc. Good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
Yes,
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, 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 good. Have a pleasant evening.
That's all you want to tell me?
Brother,
Yes, sir.
it's me.
Hey!
There's the person talking to you that just now.
No, that wasn't you talking just now.
So, but there's the person I first called to get your attention, and there's the thing. I promised you that the wife would be coming.
You did.
That's the wife there.
But I ain't see her yet, though.
I'll pass by you tomorrow. You have to go down there.
You gotta come Monday, man.
Tomorrow is the Friday?
Tomorrow is Linden Day.
Oh, crap. All right.
Monday, you gotta bring her, though.
Yeah, that is what I was planning.
You gotta bring her so you can see this lucky woman.
Okay, woman.
This fortunate woman. To see how she connect with this fortunate man.
Well, they say fortunate things
Happen to fortunate people.
fortunate people.
Yeah, yeah. You've been alright, I guess.
Yeah, I had something for you, but later in the program. If I ain't got you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Linden, you say, no?
Monday. Come Monday.
Monday. All right, so we'll pass on you there.
Okay, my brother. You take care, and I'm happy that your wife is with you finally.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
congratulations to you and her. Okay?
So I got to make use of the time.
You better. All right. Good then. Bye bye.
I can regard to the wife and the youth.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. That's my buddy who calls and makes a good contribution. He's a very good farmer. You know, he knows about farming and he knows about using no chemicals. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Haynes.
Good evening to you. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Perfect harmony.
Oh, nice, nice. How old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
Oh, great. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. So you're going to be sitting the grade 6 exam very soon.
Yes, next year.
Nice. You're going to top the region too or top the country? Are you-
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we are predicting that you will, okay?
Okay, Dr. Haynes.
How can I help you today?
I always have a problem with my ears, both of them,
Uh-huh. What happens to them?
and they give me an itch. And when I try to put my finger into them, try to scratch the itch, it tends to give me a shock.
Really?
Yes.
What? So that means that you have some electricity running through there.
Yes, it kind of looks so.
Yeah, you know you do, right? We operate on frequency. Our bodies operate on frequency, and frequency is like current. Okay? So it's possible that you may be standing or sitting on something that is a conduit that when you touch your ear, it acts like if it's shocking you. Okay? Maybe it's something that you're standing or sitting on or wearing that has static electricity in it. You understand?
Yes.
So what I want you to do is to when you go in the shower and your ear is scratching, see if it will happen to you when you don't have any of those clothes on.
Okay.
And if it does, then we need to investigate it to see what, maybe we have to talk to GPL and see if you can sell them some current.
Hi, Dr. Haynes. I'm her mom.
Yes, Mom.
Hi. She always tends to have this problem with her ears.
She sounds like a brilliant child. Brilliant.
Yeah, she is. Thank you.
Welcome.
She always like scratching at it,
Maybe there's a fungus, okay, that is present that needs some attention. All right.
Okay.
If it's itching her,
The physicians that we go to, the doctors then that we go to for the ear specialist, says like it's a built up of wax and they have to wash it and stuff like that. And when they do that, she gets an ease, but then it goes right back to that fiasco with she always scratching at it and
we need to probably investigate it to see if it's an inner ear infection. Maybe she has an inner ear infection, and because of the infection that's in the inner ear, when they clean it, it would ease it a little, and then as it builds up, it comes back because the infection was not dealt with.
Okay.
Right. So let me see what you can do. You know, there's something called glycerine.
Uh-huh.
All right, and there's something called hydrogen peroxide.
Uh-huh.
All right. You may want to take some hydrogen peroxide and get a dropper, like you squeeze,
Uh-huh.
and put a few drops, maybe 2 drops in each of the ear. Let her just shake her head and allow it to get inside. Right? The hydrogen peroxide, she can do that with. And then, after maybe a couple of days of doing that, then take a drop of glycerine and put it in each of the ear.
Okay.
All right? And
I
then
have okay, thank you. I have one more question to ask you. Is it normal for a female to like have breast pains or swollen breasts before menstruating, like maybe a week or two?
not really.
Or?
Not really. It's not really normal for you to have pains before those normal occurrences do occur. If you're having pain, it would mean that there is some inflammatory state that's occurring. Okay, there is some inflammatory state that needs to be addressed. Maybe a little bit of, if it's a breast, it could be what we call mastitis, where there is a little inflammation in the mammary duct that you can get some medicines to take care of. Maybe her minutes finished. She probably was on the cell phone, right? So, no, pain is not normal. Pain is an indication that there is an inflammatory condition that exists, and of course there is help that can be gotten to ease the pain. All right? So, I would say the answer is no. There is something, you may get a sensation when you're ovulating, and maybe premenstrual sensation, but it should not be painful. Okay? Good evening.
Hello. Hi, Dr. Haynes.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And how old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
Another 10-year-old. That's interesting. Wonderful. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Port Drive.
Port Rhine.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so this is not coincidental. We have two 10-year-olds, one after the other. How can I help you?
Well, I would like to know the foods that you can give to diabetes person.
The foods that you can eat to get diabetes from?
To give
To give the diabetic patient. We lost her. I want to get this right. Hello? All right, I'm sorry about that. Maybe you're having some troubles with the phone system, but not here. I'm going to answer it as though you wanted to know the type of foods to give a person who's diabetic. Okay? What you don't want to give a diabetic is foods that are fatty, and foods that are sugary or sweet. That's what you don't want to give them. What you want to give a diabetic person is foods that are nourishing, foods that are steamed, broiled, or baked. You want to use less starches, and you want to pretty much change your pattern of using sweets, right? One thing that is overlooked in our diet that is a factor in contributing towards diabetes is milk. You know, we use a lot of milk, and in milk there is sugar and there is also fat. And for the diabetic person, those two are the danger components that contribute to the high elevated blood sugar levels. So you want to use more foods that are less fatty, less sugary, and less starchy. Okay? Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Haynes.
Good evening to you.
I would like to highlight a problem. It's like 2 weeks now. I don't know if it's the water I've been bathing with, and I get this kind of itching. You know, when you scratch it, it swell every day, and then buy different stuff and put it on, rub it on it, and it helping.
It happens when you shower, or it happens even when you don't shower?
Before shower and after shower.
It happens without you showering?
Yes, and
Okay.
after too.
All right. Well, what could be happening is that your blood could be very acid, acidy. Okay? If your blood is acid or acidic, then you can have that sensation coming through your pores.
It's not me alone. It's my husband and the neighbors. So it's like in the area we are living in.
Well, if that's the problem in the neighborhood, then it probably is a problem with the water.
Yeah, and the water, when you shower and it go over your face, it smells so rank and a dirty skin, a dirty color.
Did you call the water authority people?
I did, but they just take the report.
Well, you want to call the health department next.
The health department.
Yes. call the health department, call the Ministry of Health, and report that if it's a situation within the neighborhood, then you want to report that to the Ministry of Health, and then they will probably get on the case and and maybe inform the water authority persons so that they can look into the matter very quickly. If the water smells like that, then there is definitely a problem.
Yeah, you know, like you can feel the water. Next 5 minutes, you look back, it's brown. It has settlement at the bottom.
No, something is wrong with that.
In the meantime, is there anything I can use?
Well, you can use rainwater.
Okay, I've been using the Dettol, and I've been putting a drop of bleach in the water to bathe, but it's the same thing.
Well, when you put the bleach in the water, it doesn't change what is happening with the water. The bleach only makes the water white,
Oh God.
right? But whatever the condition is that exists in the water, whatever the problem is, the bacteria that may be existing in the water, the bleach will only help a little,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't destroy it.
Oh goodness.
Especially if it smells rank, it's brown and all of that. So I would suggest that you, if you don't have a good filtering system,
I have
and still the water's coming out like that,
water.
and then it's really bad, really, really terrible.
But is there anything I can use in the meantime?
Well, I believe in prevention. So in the meantime, don't use the water.
To bathe.
I know you gotta bathe. Get some rainwater.
Oh, I've been
It is
trying to
better.
hide.
Listen, it is better to fill a 5-gallon container of water for $100
Okay.
and buy a few of those and use it sparingly in the house to clean yourselves and to drink and all of that,
Yeah.
than to go out there and bathe with that water that gives you the itch
Okay.
until it is resolved.
Okay. Thank
Right? And when rain comes,
you.
when it comes down for a few minutes, if it comes in with a heavy shower,
Yeah.
after a few minutes, just put something and catch the rainwater.
Okay.
It is better than what you're having now.
Okay. Thank
Alright.
you so much.
Thanks. I hope that someone from the Water Authority and the Health Department has been listening, because that is a serious problem. All right. Did she say the area that it was in? Port Join. Okay, Port Join. Right. So please look into the Port Join situation there, because apparently there's a problem, and you don't want to drink that, because then you have a bigger problem. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Haynes.
Good evening to you. And how are you?
I'm okay, doctor.
What area are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sophia.
Sophia. Okay. How can we help someone in Sophia today?
Okay, I'm calling with respect to, say, menstrual. Like 2 weeks before I got my menstrual, I got a belly pain, cramp, back pain, swollen breasts, headache. I don't know what's the cause of that. And then suddenly I would pass a big gush of,
Clots?
yes. You know, then it would start coming down.
Well, it seems as though we have several things happening there with you. Number one, you may be having some problems with your hormones. Number two, it is very possible that you may have a condition that exists. I don't want to call a name, but it's a condition I'm finding in a lot of women. Many, many women have this condition. And when we screen them, we're finding it. And once you resolve that, the problem goes away. Anytime you're having a headache, the headache is an indication that something is happening on the inside. Okay? And then if you're having pain, it means that there's an inflammatory condition that is occurring. All right? You there?
And my belly bottom now, my blister, like it's burned.
Yes, that means that you probably have the problem I suspect. All right? So what we need to do is a screening on you to see if the condition exists. I'm quite sure it exists, because the symptoms you have reminds me of the symptoms that most other persons have with that condition. All right? And how long this is happening to you?
Well, I'm seeing my monthly right now.
No. How long has it been happening? Months, years, or?
Years now. I never took it serious, but it gets worse.
Okay. Well, you need to make an appointment and let us do an investigation to see. We will do a screening. Okay.
Okay.
And at the screening, it will be revealed what is happening there, and then once we correct that, you should be in good shape.
Okay, I'll come and see you.
How old are you now? How old?
I'm 47.
47. Okay. All right. Well, you've been suffering for a long time. It's a pity that you didn't try to get this fixed before, but it's not too late.
I watch your programs all the time, but it's not like I got through. Finally got through.
Fortunately, I'm happy that you got through.
I'm going to come into you.
All right, just call and make an appointment. Don't just come in because, you know, I work in different places and you may show up and I'm gone somewhere. Right? So you call and make sure that I'm going to be there when you want to come, okay?
No problem. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can't suggest anything for you to do at home because this is a situation that I know that there's something happening there that we need to correct with medication. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, and how are you, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Port, right?
Port Drawing. You don't have the water problem.
No, I don't have the water problem.
Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. What kind of problem do you have?
I have a problem with my heel. It
What?
says that I'm bursting at the back.
It bursts in the
Right.
back.
Well,
I see that. I can picture that in my head because I used to see a lot of that. And what that means is that you need to have mineral balance. Your mineral balance is off. Okay? You may be using too much of the calcium,
yeah.
and you may need to reverse that. You need to balance the minerals that you're taking. Stop the calcium for a while and use magnesium or other minerals. Okay? What kind of milk do you drink?
Pardon me?
Milk. What milk do you use?
The high and low,
Okay.
I don't use the full cream. Because I find it putting on too much size.
Okay. All right. Well, you know the high and low means high calcium and low fats.
Yes.
So you're getting high calcium in your body, right? So I would recommend that if you have to use dairy milk, to use one of the liquid milk instead of the powder milk.
Yeah.
That way, it's a little more. It's a little less fatty, and you will get a better balance of the vitamin D and so on, right? But you need to change. You're having too much calcium in your body.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye. All right, we only got 3 minutes and 42 seconds left, and let us see who is calling next. Good evening.
Doc, I'm sorry to call back.
Oh, that's okay.
Concerning the complaints that you're getting there.
Uh-huh.
Water is one. Now, the coconut water has a lot of benefits that could assist with some of these illnesses. But you find our counterparts now, who mostly involved in the agriculture sector, they buy the coconut also with urea because they find they will get the water coconut sell faster. So the coconut now becomes urearized. The food that they sell got urea. Then you got different jugs to keep pestle off of it. Then you got different jugs for the soil for growing. And when you do get yourself, all you put in the system is chemicals.
Chemicals.
When you say that you get a heartache and you get a back pain, you can't make no suggestion because it could come from this food, the very food that you're eating.
Very true.
It won't be a regular pain like where you used to get a regular pain like we say, man, I feel like I got a wind pain. It not necessarily be wind pain. It could be the wrong kind of food that you put in the system. What our people got to understand is that the food that we put in the system, it wasn't designed for organs. Our organs didn't make with asbestos that we could put any and anything inside the body. Even though the people talking about this Chinese food and this SMG, if you see they still got this styrofoam box and they're coming out from the Chinese because it's a quick fix. Everybody wants a quick fix. You know?
So they don't understand that the styrofoam box also has chemicals inside. It's chemically made.
And this same tin juice and this tin thing, they say that the radiation from the aluminum is bad. And those things locked down in those things 3 months before expiry date. The expiry date due for 18 months. 3 months before expiry. Oh, you got life and you drink it. It draw all the radiation from the tin. So when you put all this into your system, you're killing yourself day by day. It's every day you got. And if they don't believe it, when I use certain food, this same bread, like it agrees with my blood group, because you smell the mercury in the urine. I don't know what they're making the bread today with, if it's east or west.
Maybe it's in the water.
You get my point. So we got to be careful when we eat it. The water, when you got a leaking pipe coming out from Guyver, and it leaks for 1 week on the drip on the line. If you see why it has formed that get into your system after time is going to kill you.
Okay, got you.
And we, mostly our young brothers, I urge them to stop these things because we will get a lot of, a lot of infidel men in this society. Because the thing won't work with the kind of food they eat.
All right.
So much.
I appreciate your input, and we're out of time almost. That's very good information, right? Thank you very much, as usual. We've got to, if I had the time, I'd ask him for the solution. What we've got to do is cut the chemical use, grow our own again, and find organic ways or close to organic ways or natural ways of destroying the bugs and the pests and all that in our society. All right? Okay, we gotta go. It's time. Time's up. I want to thank you for being involved in our program today. I hope you learned something. I want you to have a wonderful weekend. Once again, congratulations to all of the youths that would have succeeded, and the parents and the teachers, and the schools and the principals, of course. All those who contributed, congratulations. Dr. Hussein, good night. God bless you, and may you continue to be enriched with knowledge, wisdom, and love. So long. Should I take some more time?